G'day folks, welcome back to another update on platinum, copper, iron ore and crude oil on the 17th of July 2024. As you can see there, platinum and iron ore have moved sideways since our last update, and copper and crude have dropped. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and support us more. Also go to the Patreon page if you want to get some more insight into some bullish shares, which we do a scan weekly for. This is the heat map, and as you can see there on the top left, we've got platinum, crude, copper and iron ore. Predominantly bullish for crude and copper, neutral on the monthly and weekly for iron ore, and bearish predominantly on the daily, with the exception of platinum. Still bullish on platinum on the daily, but bearish on the other instruments, and plus some of the other instruments you can look out for, and we do occasionally videos on as well. In terms of trading, we do tend to trade in the direction of the higher time frames. If you're trading on the daily, we trade in the direction of the weekly trend, or if you're trading on the intraday, then look at the daily trend for guidance and trend. In terms of entering a trade, we look at the CCI 150, and those videos can be found in the links below again. We look for a fresh breakout from those moving averages, and to close out the trade, we look for a break back into the moving averages on the price, but also on the CCI 150. As we said, platinum's moved sideways since our last update. Now, first looking at the trends on the monthly, there is no CCI 150, but you can see that it's broken above the moving averages of the price chart. So at the very least, we'll call that a neutral positioning. On the weekly, the CCI 150 is broken up and into those moving averages, giving us a neutral signal. The price is above the moving averages, giving us a bullish signal. So let's call that bullish to neutral. And on the daily, it's very narrow band in that moving average range, giving us a neutral signal as well. And you can see there on the price movement as well. So pretty much a sideways move happening in the last few months. Now going to the hourly chart, and we use the daily as a reference. So what we do is we go in a direction of the higher time frame, and this applies to all the other time frames as well. So for example, if you're trading on the 1 hour time frame, if this is bullish on the daily, then you would have taken that bullish trade on as we are today, and that's still with an open position at the moment on the 1 hour time frame, and you would close out the position when it breaks into that moving average band. During that period back there when it was bearish, you would have taken only short trades. Now again, that would have been a very sort of risky area to go short. As you can see there, it's pretty much moving sideways, a couple of upswings and downswings, but looking at the dailies as an indicator, when I'd like to see the moving averages more fanned out like they were back here, that would have been an ideal spot to go short, and that would have been ideal to go long. You can see here it's very undecided, so at this point I would probably avoid trading long or short until I see a significant move on the daily at least, to move up or down, to then take trades on the smaller time frame. So for US crude, similar sort of thing happening here on the monthly. We've got a very slightly bullish movement on the monthly, although you can see that the price is pretty much consolidating in that triangle there. On the weekly, it's broken down into that moving average range, so slight bullish to neutral positioning. And on the daily, you can see it's broken below the moving average range, so it's bearish at the moment. So again, you can see that it's bounced off that resistance at 84.06, and now coming back down midway between those two support resistance areas. To trade on the 1 hour time frame, again using the daily as a reference, again going short from that point there when the CCI breaks below the moving averages, that would have been an ideal spot to enter short on the 1 hour time frame. But notice here on the 1 hour time frame, you would have taken a short position there at the very least if you entered back there when it aligned with the daily, avoided going short or long during this upswing, and then taken a short position from that point down at this point, and that would have kept you in the trade. Now you could have closed it out when the CCI breaks into the moving averages there, but notice the price is still below the bands. It's touched it there a couple of times, so you possibly would have closed out there once, but then enter it again when it breaks below, and you'd still, in this case, you would have probably closed it out your position as well, because it enters into the moving average range, and now the 1 hour time frame is breaking to the upside, so that's a close out of the short positioning. So on high grade copper, on the monthly it's bullish, very clearly above the moving average range. On the weekly it's broken below the moving average range, giving us a bearish outlook. And on the daily likewise bearish. It's a fresh breakout on the bearish side, so that's probably good opportunities to go short. You'll notice here on the daily as well, it initially bounced off this high level resistance at 51.740, retraced back down to this support at 43.280, and now it's bounced off this minor resistance at 46.908. Now going to the 1 hour time frame, again going short from this period back, and that would have been aligned with this latest decline. you would have gone short there, and you can see there it's bounced into that moving average range of the CCI. A couple of closeouts, you probably would have closed it out there and then re-entered it when it entered back below the CCIs, and you'd be out of the trade, out of a short trade now, because it's already broken into that moving average range of the CCI. So I'll avoid going long or short until we see more significant moves to the downside going short, or if to go long, you want to see it break above on the daily. Lastly, we'll look at iron ore. Now there's no indicator on the CCI on the monthly, although you can see there on the price chart it's pretty much moving sideways, so I'd call that at least a neutral. On the weekly, we've got a bearish movement. The CCI is below the moving averages, and so is the price. And on the daily, it's also a fresh breakout on the bearish side. So going short positions only. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, again taking short positions only, you would have taken up a short position now, and that's still been a trade going short. So again, just be careful about going long, even though it might be a bit enticing sometimes. That would have been the last long position you would have taken during that period, and that aligned with this long position on the daily time frame. So if you got value out of the video, hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Support us more on Patreon, where the link's in the description below, and I'll see you in a future video.